Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now today's first story comes from Delicious Tax 5060 from the True Off My Chest subreddit and says, I discovered that my boyfriend is cheating after buying him an expensive Christmas gift. I, female 25, discovered that my ex-boyfriend, male 26, had been cheating on me for 5 months. I was really devastated and felt a lot of rage inside me, especially after buying him a new PlayStation 5 since he wanted one but couldn't afford it. I was saving up a lot of money to buy him the console with some games. We've been dating for 3 years and living together for a year and a half. I immediately kicked him out after seeing his side girl message me and apologizing not knowing that he had a girlfriend. I didn't believe her because I trusted my boyfriend a lot, but she came with receipts. There are a lot of messages where he flirted with her and sent nudes. I was disgusted, really disgusted. The worst part is when I confronted him. He didn't even try to deny it and called me boring. He insulted me a lot, saying I was no fun and he deserves better. I was really enraged for the first time. I slapped him. He was shocked and so was I. Because I was never violent with him and always tried to solve things quietly, but he made my blood boil. I started screaming at him that he doesn't do anything around here and he never paid rent because he's a lazy, jobless piece of shit who can't even be bothered looking for a decent job. At one point I mentioned how he will never get the PS5 that I bought him and return it to the store. He looked like a deer in headlights. That bastard. He immediately changed his attitude and acted sorry. Started apologizing and crying, saying he never meant to cheat and promised he would make it up to me. He's a disgusting pig. He never cared for my feelings. He only cared when I mentioned something he wanted. Such hypocrisy. I wasted no time and kicked him out. He's still sending me a lot of text filled with apologies and an ugly photo of him crying. I told him to not waste his time because he won't get the PS5. We're done. And then I blocked him. I won't take the PS5. I already have one, but I remembered that my parents were planning on buying it for my little brother. The plan was going to be them buying the PS5 and I will buy the games for it with an extra PS Store gift card, but looks like I will give my parents a call and then tell them there's a change in our plans for my brother's gift. Tangled Up in Blue says, let me guess. When you previously asked him to get a job and contribute to the household, he called you a gold digger. Good for you for not taking his gaslighting and BS any longer. I'm sure you figured it out by now that he was never going to contribute and intended to use you for a free ride while he had his fun. You were so well rid of him. Best Christmas gift you could give yourself. Opie says he actually called me controlling. We thought a lot about it, but this was my first time showing a serious reaction to it. Azile96 says, good on you for not falling for his BS. Had you kept him and given him the PS5, he would likely continue to love bomb as a thank you for the game system. However, once he feels you are comfortable again, he'd have just gone back to his old cheating ways and not do anything to help you, and then gaslight you blaming you for being boring and whatever else he can come up with to make you feel bad. Your little brother is going to love his gift, thanks to your ex. BWRCA says the slapping was understandable but could have cost you. The kicking to the curb, that I support 100%. Even if say he didn't cheat, he's still a lazy bum who needs that dose of reality. Big says he's wrong and you were wrong to choose violence. That is never okay. But now, OP does give us their update, which came on Christmas Day and says, hello everyone, I'm back with an update. First, I wanted to thank all of the people who commented and shared some of their experiences with me. I really appreciate it. Today was amazing. I celebrated Christmas with my family, my parents, and little brother. My parents cooked the best food, so I ate well after not having an appetite for a few days. It was wonderful. As for my parents' agreement about the gift, we agreed on something. I'll gift the PS5 and games to my brother. My parents bought an Oculus for my brother's new PS5 and other accessories for the console. When the time came for the presents, I was shocked to learn that my brother got me an expensive gift. He got me some makeup from Sephora and a gift card. My parents then informed me that my brother was saving for my gift since the beginning of the year. I cried. I literally started bawling my eyes out, then I gave him a big hug. My baby. I thanked him a lot for the gift and said that I loved it. When he opened my parents' present, he was really confused and stated that he doesn't have a PS5 for this Oculus. I then told him to open my gift. When he opened it, he started crying and immediately hugged me. I don't know what came over me. I started crying with him. I really, really love my brother. He's a sweet little boy and a good behaved kid. He's 12 by the way. That's why he deserved every gift he got. It was expensive, yes, but it was worth every penny to see him happy. After we all opened our gifts, I helped him set up the PS5 in his room and played some games together. Suddenly he tells me that he loves me and I'm the best big sister in the world. For the third time, I started crying. Probably because I'm on my period and my hormones are not making it any better. So yeah, there you have it. I had the best Christmas with my family, and seeing my brother so happy was worth the heartbreak I went through. As for my garbage ex, he's still making new accounts on Instagram to apologize. I told him to fuck off, and I know that he's only apologizing because he wants the PS5, not because he feels guilty. I mentioned that I gave it to someone who deserves it way more than he does. He started cussing at me, and I said if he didn't leave me alone, I'll report him to the police for harassment. He stopped after that, and I never heard from him ever since. So that's all for the update. Happy holidays, everyone. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it if it was you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. Does have an update from illustrious Dear748 and says, am I the arsehole for not letting my father give my son an iPad? I, 30 female, have 2 kids. Arthur, 4 male, and Lucy, 7 months. When my son was a baby, my husband, 32 male, and I decided we wouldn't give our children any gadgets, phones, tablets, or computers until they were at least 9 years old. I worked as a babysitter in my early 20s, and many of the kids I take care of were glued to iPads. Most of them had no social skills, refused to go out, and were absolute nightmares to be around when they didn't have a gadget with them. I don't like judging other parents, and I get how overwhelming children can be, but I refuse to raise mine like that. My dad, 63 male, is dating Shelley, 37 female. Her sister had her 3rd child earlier this year and gave her older kids an iPad to distract them while she focused on the baby. My father and Shelley both thought that was a great idea. Since Lucy was born, my father has been trying to convince me to get Arthur an iPad. He says that this would be a great way to keep him busy while I take care of the baby, and to make parenting less of a struggle for me and my husband. We are not struggling. Things aren't perfect, but we're happy and healthy without iPads. Whenever I try to express that to my dad, he ignores me. I've been declining his advice all year. He finally stopped bringing it up about a month ago, and I thought it was over. Last week, he and Shelley got back from a trip abroad. I went to their place to pick up some things I'd asked them to get, when I noticed an iPad box in one of their suitcases. Shelley confirmed that I got it as a Christmas gift for Arthur. When my father tried to deny that, it became clear that they planned on giving it to him behind my back. As calmly as I could, I said I didn't care who they gave that iPad to, but it wouldn't be Arthur. We ended up having a huge fight, and I told them my family wouldn't be attending Christmas. My aunt is hosting unless they promised not to give Arthur the iPad. Both my father and Shelley are furious. They're calling me ungrateful and insist they're only trying to help me and my husband, and would see that if we weren't so stubborn. My father is also angry that I'm denying Arthur an expensive gift that many people don't have access to. Me and my husband aren't budging, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel like I'm overreacting. I also don't want to spend Lucy's first Christmas without the rest of the family, and when I think about that, this feels like an awful hill to die on. Am I the arsehole? And we're starting the comments with Spare Article 396, who says nope, not the arsehole. First of all, I'm in complete agreement regarding devices, and I credit giving my 6-year-old an iPad as the worst decision I ever made, 7 years ago. It is a constant struggle with tech and trying to find a balance between him fitting in with his peers, their ability to communicate after school, etc., and having a kid not reliant on tech. That being said, whether you're actually right or not is not even the point. You're the parent, you decide how your son gets raised. You don't want him to have an iPad, period. End of discussion. It's literally that simple. Your dad's girlfriend is massively overstepping by basically stating, I know what's best for your kid, so I'm going to do it anyway. And once that iPad gets unwrapped, it's going to make you the arsehole to your kid if you say no. And that comment pretty much said it all to me, like regardless of your thoughts around tech and children, iPads, PlayStations, computers, whatever, they're going to be arseholes for undermining your parenting decisions. And I can understand you being upset that they're definitely trying to do it behind your back at the same time. Because again, like that last comment said, as soon as they hand it over, he unwraps it. You know, if you was to take it away, it's going to make you look like the arsehole. So yeah, I get where you're coming from there. But CKP says not the arsehole, but your dad and Shelly are. I agree, once your kid gets an iPad, there's no going back. And they are being very disrespectful of your parenting views. Christmas or not, I'll be closely monitoring any time you let your dad spend with Arthur, because it's clear he doesn't respect your boundaries and is determined to give him the iPad. Spirited Move says, speech language pathologist here. Tablets are the bane of my professional existence, and a majority of my caseload is made up of early intervention kids or iPad babies. They have massive speech and language delays, throw fits when toys don't interact by a finger tap, and don't know how to engage in imaginary play. This is absolutely a worthy hill to die on. Not the arsehole. And one more comment from International Fee, who says, not the arsehole, you told them no. That's simple enough to understand. I'm due my baby very soon. I already know my sister-in-law and her husband will be pulling this crap with my children, and I have no problem telling them that we won't accept electronic gifts like this. Aside from your personal experience, a little bit of research will tell you how damaging it is for children to be stuck to those devices for long periods. They affect sleep, attention, social skills, etc. There's hardly an aspect of childhood that isn't negatively impacted. As parents, you get to decide if this is unacceptable to you or not. Your dad and his girlfriend shouldn't be trying to go against you on this. The OP does come in with an update and says, thank you all for reassuring me. Since my post last week, a few things happened, including Christmas of course. Some people in the comments suggested accepting the iPad but hiding it away until Arthur was old enough to use it. I really didn't want to do that at first, but after talking to my husband, we decided we could try to make it work. I told my father we'd come to my aunt's place for Christmas and accept the iPad on the condition that he didn't let Arthur see it. Our plan was to tell him that Grandpa had gotten him a gift for when he got bigger. He said he wanted a Hot Wheels track for Christmas a while ago. My husband and I had bought it for him, so we offered to have my dad gift it to him instead. I expected my father to agree. Instead, he accused me and my husband of not trusting him and Shelley, as well as denying Arthur something he'd spent so much money on. He also denied our racetrack idea, saying that he had the right to decide what he'd get for his own grandson. I hung up on him and called my aunt to tell her we weren't coming for Christmas. She asked me about it, and I ended up explaining the situation to her. Well, it turns out that mine and my kids' presences were more important to her than my cousins than my father's. My aunt threatened to ban him and Shelley from her place if they gave Arthur the iPad. After a small fight and crying fit from Shelley, I'm not exaggerating, all over the phone, my father apologized and asked what else he could get my son for Christmas. I gave him ideas of toys, books, and art kits that Arthur would like. He ignored them and got a pair of socks. Whatever, Arthur still liked it. My father and Shelley gave the iPad to her sister's kids. They now have two. I know that because Shelley made a point of telling Arthur in front of me that her nephews got the best gift ever, and that she was sorry he couldn't have the same thing. Arthur just kept playing with his new Lego set. He either didn't listen or didn't care. I still made sure to keep her away from him throughout the night. My dad saw that, and I think he finally realized my kid wouldn't care about the iPad. He called me yesterday and apologized, more sincerely this time. All that said, I think you guys are right about him. This whole incident has made it clear that he doesn't really respect me as a parent or care about my boundaries for my children. I will closely monitor the time he spends with Arthur and Lucy in the future. Thank you all, and happy holidays. Sincere apology or not at the end there. That was an awful thing to do. It felt like really passive aggressive to gift him the socks and then make the comment about like, oh, they got the best gift ever, whereas like you just got a pair of socks. And to do this to a kid is just absolute shitty behavior. Someone else commented something similar, and Opie says there are only 4 kids in the family for him to get gifts to, including mine. My daughter got a stuffed animal, and the other 2, my cousin's daughters, aged 9 and 2, got Barbie dolls. The only two reasons I'm not completely cutting off my dad are 1, he's apologized, and 2, he is generally a good grandfather, and my son loves spending time with him. Shelley's on timeout though. I have no interest in taking my kids to his place if she's there. The only reason I didn't make a scene at what she said to my son was because I had to keep my husband from doing the same. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it if it was you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Another one from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit. Doesn't have an update as yet, but Christmas related, of course, from OKAnalyst7297 and says, Am I the arsehole for opening a fake gift during a family Christmas party? Every year, my family does Christmas at my mum's, and she insists that we open all presents together, even gifts between spouses, etc. It's normally an okay tradition, but sometimes it can spark jealousy or comparisons between families. This year, my husband saved up and bought me my dream designer handbag for Christmas. I know some people aren't into that, but it's something that I truly love. We're not well off, but we're not doing poorly either. But I knew that the handbag would cause a lot of discussion amongst my siblings and parents. I just didn't want their opinions and criticisms to ruin a special gift my husband worked hard to get for me. So this year my husband got me an extra gift that wasn't the real gift. It was a moderately priced skincare set. Christmas came and went without drama, but I recently posted a picture of my husband and our kids at dinner, and my handbag could be seen hanging off the back of my chair. One of my friends commented underneath about how gorgeous my Christmas gift was as well. Long story short, word got back to my family and they totally blew up. Some were annoyed that I opened a private gift separately from the family. Others were criticizing the price of the gift. My siblings are now calling me disingenuous for harboring a secret gift, and they said that I did it because I think I'm better than them. I didn't open it with them because I didn't want their opinions, but now I'm starting to feel like an arsehole for keeping it a secret. I know either way they'd all criticize me though, since it was so much more expensive than all the other gifts. So I don't know whether or not I'm wrong. I think pretty much the only reply you need to give to them is that you've proved exactly why we did this in the first place. I mean, what the hell are they doing? Oh dear, dear. Realty says, not the arsehole, and honestly, it's time you be 100% bluntly honest with them. Screen cap all their snarky comments and send a group chat with them stating, if you all want to know so badly why I harbored a secret gift, as you call it, these types of comments are exactly why. This bag is something I thought I'd never have, as we're not well off enough to make purchases similar in cost to this bag. But my husband worked his ass off and saved up to get it for me. And instead of being happy for us, you talk shit. You call it a waste of money or claim that I think I'm better than you. The behavior of all of you have around Christmas gifts sucks the joy out of even getting something like this. And had I opened it at mum's house in front of all of you, I wouldn't even have been able to be happy about it because I knew you'd all react exactly as you did. Honestly, I'm not sure if my family and I will be continuing to take part in this tradition because we are tired of the jealousy, the comparisons and the competitions. It's tiring. It makes it hard to be happy with the gifts we get, even if we would be ecstatic to get them, as I was with this bag when he gave it to me. Or something similar. Basically just point blank put your feelings out there. Call out the jealousy, the criticism, the comparisons and the competition. If you can, give specific examples of such things so they can't go, oh, that's in your head. They cop to it and say they're fine with it. Tell them that's fine, but that you are not. And honestly, after their reaction to the bag, I will tell them that you and your family are considering stepping back from the tradition due to how tiring it's become. And I don't think we need to cover any other comments after that particular one. I think it pretty much said it all. It sounds absolutely tiring to attend a tradition like that where you know you're going to be looked at with jealousy and competition. You're unable to enjoy your day, enjoy your gifts because you know you're being looked at in a certain way. It's incredibly sad, and like that comment said, you don't have to put up with that. You don't have to go at all, or you can simply say, look, we're opening our gifts at home before we come to you this year. That's what we're going to do. Simple as that. Or not attend at all. Totally up to you. But what would you do in this situation? I've heard of this before. I've heard of this situation about everyone opening gifts together and it causing jealousy and tension, etc., etc. Have you ever been through something similar before? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.